And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. If you're just clicking on this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We really appreciate it. We've got a really big show today, and I'm really excited about this. We're coming down the home stretch of the spring sports season right now, crowning CIF champions. We got CIF state events coming up that are just completed, like in the case of swimming. So we got a lot to get to on this edition of the Inland Sports Show. And a quick disclaimer, if you're a local business or an organization and you'd like to promote yourself here on the Inland Sports Show, we would love to have you. You can support local sports and promote your brand all at the same time. Just give us an email, inlandsportshow@gmail.com, or you can find us on social media and message us there as well. We're going to start with the high school baseball playoffs. We just had the CIF Southern Section Championship games at the Diamond in Lake Elsinore. We had one local team in our coverage area make it to the finals, and that would be none other than mighty Corona in Division I, going up against, you guessed it, Harvard Westlake for that Division I championship, trying to cap off a dream season for the Panthers. Corona was in control of this game. We'll talk to Ethan Schiefelbein in just a moment, the star pitcher for the Panthers in that championship game. But this was the big blast, our big boost play of the week.
Inland Sports.
Sam Burgess from the left side of the plate. She gone. Burgess cracks a 3-run homer to spot Corona the early lead. And that's all really they would need, as they would coast to a 5-zip victory against Harvard Westlake, as Burgess goes deep into the Lake Elsinore night over there in right field. Here's another look. Bang. 3-run jack, and that's it. Burgess goes deep. The Panthers win 5-zip. Ethan Schiefelbein tossed a complete game, 2-hit shutout, 9 strikeouts. But that big shot by Burgess is our big boost play of the week, as Corona caps off the dream season with the CIF Southern Section Division I title. Congratulations to Coach Andy Wise and the guys getting the job done. Listen, maybe there was pressure, but there was big expectations, of course, all season long on this Corona team. Loaded with talent, big goals, and they fulfilled all of them, winning the National High School Invitational, of course, right out in Cary, North Carolina, the home of USA Baseball, and of course, winning the toughest playoff bracket in the entire country, CIF Southern Section Division I. Burgess had the big blast. The guy on the mound that got it done for Corona was none other than Ethan Schiefelbein, the UCLA commit, who will go very high on predicting in the Major League Baseball draft coming up. We had a chance to sit down with Ethan for a couple minutes and talk about the season and that championship game that gave the Panthers the D1 title. Here is Ethan Schiefelbein.
Inland Sports.
Here on the Inland Sports Show, fresh off a CIF Southern Section Division I championship. He pitched in the title game. It's Ethan Schiefelbein of the Corona Panthers. And Ethan, first off, congrats on finishing the job. When you look at the whole season, man, there must have been some pressure because everyone had huge expectations for this Corona team. But to finish the job, what's that feeling like now?
Yeah, thank you, Pep. Thanks for having me on. And just finishing the job, all that pressure, we didn't really feel the external pressure because we had such high expectations for ourselves as individuals and as a team. That's kind of why we work so good together, because we all have those high expectations for each other. So that external pressure didn't really get to the team, and this is where we expected to be, and we were able to finish off the job as a team, which was awesome.
So let's rewind back to that Division I championship game on Saturday night at the Diamond. You're playing Harvard Westlake. You tossed a gem in a 5-zip win against them. Would you say that was the best game you've pitched this year, ever in a Corona uniform, or have you had better games? Where would you stack that one up against your other outings?
That one's definitely got to be around the top, because especially getting that CIF win, Division I, which was really a great experience with the guys.
You know, Ethan, throughout the season, you guys had a lot of big moments. I mean, you guys went out to Cary, North Carolina. You won the National High School Invitational. when you look at this season, obviously you're going to remember the Division I championship game, but what are some of the other things that you're going to remember about this season or this year's team?
Yeah, that North Carolina trip was awesome, especially like being able to travel, staying in the hotel with all your buddies and friends, and just building those relationships with everyone on the team, which was really awesome to do. And just like going to practice, hanging out with the guys, just getting better, being around really talented players was really cool.
You know, I think it was Seth Hernandez who put this on social media about, you know, maybe the best 1-2 punch in terms of high school pitching. You guys were absolutely lights out all season long. I know Seth has, you know, he's got another season. He'll be back next year, you know, with Corona High. You know, what can you say about what he was able to do this season and just combining him with you? I mean, there was no nights off for opposing batters when you guys were on the hill.
Yeah, he was coming in. We expected a lot out of him, and he expected a lot out of himself. So just going through the season, putting up some of the numbers he did, which was awesome. And especially on the hitting side, because we knew he was going to come in and be an elite pitcher, but coming in and being an amazing hitter, which was really helped our team in big moments. He put on a show. So it was really cool to watch from the dugout and as a teammate and just watch him grow through the season.
You know, was there a point during the season, Ethan, when you guys were like, I don't know, you flipped a switch? You know, they say that, you know, in the playoffs, oh, we'll just flip the switch and we'll get locked in and we'll make this run. Like, was there any point where you guys had to flip a switch, or do you feel like you were pretty constant, pretty steady throughout the entire season about what your goals were as a team and what you needed to do to achieve those?
Yeah, we never really flipped a switch. Practice was always the same throughout the entirety of the year. Coach Wise, we always had a joke because he always says like stay right here, don't get up or don't get down. So that's kind of what we did all season, expectations to win, and we had that from day one. So just keeping those throughout the entire year.
When you guys were celebrating on Saturday night, you know, right after beating Harvard Westlake, obviously there was a lot of excitement. Was there any like relief just because you guys, again, had those big expectations, or was it like, hey, this is, you know, we expected to be here, so let's, you know, enjoy it because we earned it?
Yeah, kind of we just expected, not only did we expect to be there, but we expected to win, just having that confidence in ourselves and that putting that pressure on ourselves. It was just kind of a cool moment. With all the guys, having that being our last game as a team. And this was a really special team. So just having that as the last moment, celebrating with all the guys.
You know, and for you, especially, you know, being a senior, were you conscious about that, just trying to maybe soak it in a little bit more, you know, the celebration and hanging out with your guys and just having that Corona uniform on for, you know, one last time?
Yeah, like it was kind of like not only celebrating that game, but celebrating the season as well, because it's the last game. Hung out with a lot of the guys after we just kind of soaking in the moment. It was really cool.
All right, Ethan, you're a UCLA commit. I know you'd love to play for the Bruins. I'm sure the Major League Baseball draft is going to come knocking on your door at some point. You know, what does your future look like in baseball? Do you have any preference which route you take, college, pro, or maybe it's going to depend on what round it is? I mean, have you thought, you know, too much about that?
I haven't thought too much about that. Just what kind of was just focusing on the season and the team's success this year. But my obvious goal is to end up in pro ball one day, as every baseball player's dream is. But just seeing where this next step for the next couple of years takes me, either pro ball or college.
Do you have a favorite team? This is the staple question I ask all these, you know, elite high school players, because once you get drafted or once you join a team, like, you know, that's your new favorite team. But do you have a favorite team right now before you, you know, turn pro?
Yeah, as a fan right now, it's always been the Angels. I'm an Angels fan.
Is there any southpaws, any left-handed pitchers that you look up to?
Yeah, I grew up watching Clayton Kershaw. So like I was a Dodgers fan from like 1 to 5, and then my whole family was Angels fan. They kind of turned me over. But I always grew up watching Clayton Kershaw, so he's always been an idol.
That's a good one to look up to. One of the all-time greats, certainly. And Ethan, what Team USA duties? Anything Team USA related coming up for you?
No, but hopefully one day either get to play on the collegiate team or the national, the pro team. So that was a amazing experience, and hopefully get to experience it again.
Well, Ethan, congratulations on the CIF Southern Section Division I championship, and congrats on just a phenomenal senior season. I mean, Corona's got a lot of guys coming back. They're going to be really good again next year. Yeah. But, man, this was like a dream season. I think even Coach Wise called it that. I was texting with him a little bit. And, man, what a year. So congratulations, Ethan. Really appreciate the time. Thank you for jumping on the Inland Sports Show. And we'll be keeping tabs on you, whether it's pro ball, whether it's at Westwood with UCLA, man. Continue the great work.
Thank you, Pep. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. That's Ethan Schiefelbein of the Corona Panthers here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
Really good stuff right there from Ethan. Best of luck in the future. Can't wait to see him at the next level, whether it's professionally, at UCLA. All good things coming for Ethan, one of the top baseball players, obviously, in our area. And the other thing, too, we quickly mentioned it, Corona's got a bunch of guys coming back next season, so I know Coach Wise is excited about next year's group as well. But it truly was a dream season for the Panthers this year. All right, still to come on this edition of the Inland Sports Show, we've got Riverside Poly swim, we've got the new head football coach of the Kaiser Cats, and the brand new boys basketball coach at Redlands High School, which is a very familiar name for RHS fans. We'll be right back here on this edition of the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken.
Is it important to have your kid on the A team? Absolutely not. If you have some serious goals for a young athlete, don't forget to focus on the bigger picture. Instead of trying to get them on the A team, focus on finding them a good coach. Coaches who attract the best players aren't always great developers, whereas a coach who can instill what your child needs to reach their potential, that's priceless. Boost man.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. If you're watching this video right now, subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like. We'd really appreciate it. Still to come, Kaiser's new head football coach, the new boys basketball coach at Redlands High School as well. But right now, we had a real special opportunity to go inside the Riverside TV studio and sit down with 4 members of the Riverside Poly girls swim team. Of course, we've been talking about Ava DeAnda quite a bit. Last year, as a freshman at Poly, won the 100 freestyle state championship. She came back her sophomore year, won the 100 and the 200 freestyle state championships, and helped 2 of her relay teams from Poly go to the CIF state meet. And on these relay teams for Poly, All 4 girls are coming back next season. So very exciting times. Here's some of our interview with the Poly swim team. You can find the entire interview coming up Friday on Inside Riverside on Riverside TV. Is that the goal going in, like multiple state championships as a sophomore?
Honestly, yeah. I was excited after CIF. I really was looking forward to being with my team, my girls. Like, I was really hyped, especially for my 2 best events.
So you have it was a Poly record and a state meet record in the 100 free, which you won for the 2nd consecutive time. You won it as a freshman as well. The 200 freestyle, also a state champion. That's also a school record, isn't it, for Poly?
Yes, it is. I broke my own in both of them, so I think that's really exciting.
All right, Ava, this is a serious question. What records do you not have at Poly?
I do not currently have the 200 medley, 5 free, and 100 back.
Are those Sippy Woodhead records?
In the 2 medley and 500, yeah, but the 100 back, that's a fast one.
So by the time you're done, is that the goal?
Yeah.
To get all the records?
Yes.
Have it say Ava DeAnda everywhere on the record board?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's talk about the relays as well. I'll start with Presley McPhail because she has the microphone here. And Presley, you guys made it to state in 2 different medleys, the 200 medley relay, the 200 freestyle relay as well. You went 14th in both those races. Happy with that result? Do you feel like you guys could have done better? Do you feel like next year you're going to, be a little higher?
I'm very happy with the result, but obviously, we could get better. Everybody could get better. So next year we're definitely shooting to get hopefully in that A final for both of them. So that's, yeah.
Was it a good experience just going to state, kind of knowing this is the time we need, this is, how good the other swimmers are, just to kind of get a level of where that competition is, that caliber of competition?
Yeah, so me and Ava actually went to state last year, so it was kind of like a rerun of that, but at least for the freshmen, they got to experience it for the first time, and overall it was just a lot of fun because this is a little bit of a different team than last year, and it was a lot more fun.
And you guys are all coming back, right? You're all going to have at least one more season at Poly, correct?
Yes.
All right, let me go down here to Isabel as well. And Isabel, what was your state experience like, racing in those 2 relays for the Bears?
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed hanging out with them and just being able to race. I really liked the racing. And then going to dinner afterwards and just hanging out with my team.
So obviously you guys are studs in the pool, but do you really just enjoy each other's company? Is it just awesome to be on the Poly swim team?
Yeah.
Yes.
You just really enjoy it?
Yeah.
We have a great team environment, I think.
Yeah.
Let me pass it to the mic. Yeah, there you go.
We have a great team environment, and we're kind of like sisters because we train club together. So we're pretty much together throughout the week. We love racing, so it was really hype.
Well, let me ask Lucy about that. Lucy's a freshman, so you got great experience, at the varsity level and making it to state. What are some areas do you feel like maybe you or the team can get better so next year you can be in that A final or maybe compete for that state championship?
Yeah, I think overall all of us did really well this year, but just the more practices you go to, the more better you get. It's you're filling up your tank, and then the races you're just completely giving it all you got. So I think just next year it'll be a really great experience, especially since it's Presley's senior year, so got to make it count.
And especially, speaking of going nonstop, you guys go right into club, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you talk about getting better and, filling up that tank. You go right into club, right? So all summer long, you're going to be working towards next spring for Poly, right?
Yeah, we just had to meet this weekend too, and it's just nonstop.
Nonstop swim, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, so there's more to this interview, but you got to watch Inside Riverside on Riverside TV on Friday. So make sure you follow City of Riverside, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. That's the easiest way to find it. If you don't get Riverside TV, live within the city limits. So, all right, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, got to talk some high school football. The season is right around the corner now. A lot of teams doing the lineman competitions, the 7-on-7 stuff right now. So we love to check in with all the football programs, but especially programs with new head coaches. At Kaiser High School, they got a new head coach. We got an exclusive interview with Reggie Cornish when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
Should your child lift weights before hitting their growth spur? I get this question a lot from parents, and the simple answer is yes. Think of it as a long accumulation phase where athletes get modest gains in strength, power, and coordination. And when their growth spurt does hit, often it's to a larger degree than athletes who didn't lift weights at all. So remember, develop early, specialize late. Your boy, Boost Man.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. We got several thousand subscribers already. We'd love to add you to the bunch. Really appreciate it. All right, we're talking more high school football leading up to the 2024 season. At Kaiser High School, there was a change in their head coach. We love Billy Cardosi, one of our favorite guys, deciding to step away and spend more time with his beautiful family. And I don't blame him. Being a head coach is hard. So Kaiser went across enemy lines over to Summit and got a really good guy in Reggie Cornish. Summit head coach Nick Matheny texted me and said, man, we're going to really miss Coach Cornish. He's more like a brother. He's been with the program for a while now, but now he's going to be the head coach at Kaiser. And, you know, when you get these head coaching opportunities, it's hard to say no, right? If that's what you've been seeking and you got a great opportunity there. And I know Coach Cornish has been in the Fontana area for a long, long time. Played there, grew up there, is coached there. So here's our exclusive interview with the new head coach of the Kaiser Cats football team, Reggie Cornish.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show because you know we love high school football here in the area. We always like to check in with some new head football coaches as we get ready for the season, which feels like right around the corner now. Congratulations to Reggie Cornish, the new head football coach for the Kaiser Cats. And Coach, first off, congratulations on the Kaiser gig. Are you excited about just stepping in there, putting your stamp on the program, and being the head coach of the Cats?
Absolutely. I'm very excited, very ready to get going, man. They have a rich tradition in football and success, starting off with Coach Brook back when he opened up Kaiser, and Zelaya and on to Billy Cardosi. So big shoes to fill, but I'm excited to do it, chomping at the bit to get after it.
Yeah, Coach, you bring up a great point. I mean, man, going back to, Coach B, obviously the biggest legend out of the Inland Empire, and most recently with Coach Cardosi. We're big fans of Billy Cardosi. We're big fans of Kaiser. It's not like the program, is in shambles and you have to rebuild it. I mean, so when you come in, is it, hey, let's keep it at least where it's at, try to take it to the next level? I mean, what's kind of your expectations now as you take over a Kaiser program that's had a lot of success?
Coming in right now, trying to get familiar with the kids and actually, like we told them, we're going to continue the success, hard work, dedication to the program, commitment, and we need the kids to do that. We need them to understand that rich tradition they have, where they're at. That field has been stepped on by many a football player and had success on that field, so they have to come in and, take it to the next level. That's what we say, build the next tier to the success.
Coach, I know you've been at Summit for a while with Coach Matheny, and we're also big fans of Coach Matheny over there. Was it difficult to leave the Summit program and especially going over to a rival like Kaiser? But, I mean, was it difficult just because I know you're tight with him? I mean, he called – Coach Matheny was texting me. He's like, man, Coach Cornish, that's my brother. Like, it's, I'm happy for him. Yeah, I'm excited that he got a head coaching gig, but, man, it's tough to lose the guy.
It was very tough, going into spring, we're getting ready to go. We're tightening up the bolts, getting our mentality set for this season, and the opportunity came up, and I was kind of like, we looked at each other like, what are you going to do? I go, man, I already told you I was kind of geared into the season, working with a lot of the kids on campus and, building that connection. But we talked, and I talked to a couple other people in the district, and it was kind of like, this is your time. If you want to try to go after it, apply for it, interview for it, and see how it goes. So it actually worked out, and I'm extremely excited. But, I had to meet with the guys, at Summit and say, look, you know what? I'm going to chase my dreams. I'm going to go for what I know, and I don't expect you guys to do anything different. That's what we want you to do. Chase your dreams and your goals and get after it. Full speed and full throttle. So,
Are you a Fontana guy, Coach? I mean, we were just talking off the air. Your son played at Faux High. I mean, are you a lifelong Fontana guy? Is this kind of like a dream job for you?
Yes, I played for Coach Brook back in 88, 89, 90. We had the state championship, CIF championship. And I talked to him. That was a real big influence on me applying for the job, too. I kind of checked in with him, and Coach Pat McCarthy was my coach also.
Yeah.
So, just, talk to those guys, got some great information, and inspired me to, they inspired me to play. So now they inspired me to coach as well. And they just told me that, you're ready for it, just get after it. So that's where I'm at now. I'm pretty excited. I actually coached over at Kaiser 2 years when they first opened up. And it was a pretty good experience back then. And I ended up moving on and doing some other things and experiencing some other schools and programs and see how that thing went. And, now I'm here. So,
well, Coach,
I'm ready to run.
I am curious, like, how long have you been coaching? And then were you just waiting for the right opportunity? Like, obviously, it sounds like you were happy and things were good at Summit, but this was just too good to pass up, it sounds like.
Right. I've been coaching in the area for a while. Started off at A.B. Miller with Coach McCarthy when he opened up A.B. Miller. Then I moved on to go. He basically told me, go back and play football. You're not done yet. Went back and played. When I came back, I started coaching at Bloomington High School with Rob Kistner. So me and Kistner, went into his head coaching gig and basically moved up there with him to Hesperia and actually a little bit at Oak Hills,
Yeah.
And actually coached at San Bernardino Valley College Secondary and Chaffey College in the secondary. So
you
a lot of different places.
You've been a lot of places.
Yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way. I learned a lot of things from all those guys, man, just different ways and different approaches, and I know a lot of our guys in Fontana, they kind of stay to the ground in Fontana, but when I came back, I thought I had a lot to offer, so knowing what I knew, that kind of gauged me and groomed me to be, I think, a good head coach one day. So when it popped up, it's time to go.
Coach, speaking of that, obviously, Coach Bruick was probably a big influence. You said you reached out to him when this Kaiser position opened up. But who are some of the other guys that were coaching influences on you, whether it was playing or coaching alongside them to kind of mold the kind of guy that you are now?
Oh, man. Dick Bruick, Pat McCarthy, Coach Meach, which is Pat Meach.
Mm-hmm.
Then working with Coach Rob Kistner was real big, man. He let me do my thing. He let me, get into the defensive secondary and then actually start coordinating the defense back when I was like 24 years old. So it was kind of a real rare experience at that time, and it was fun. But going into these later years with Coach Matheny, man, he's a guy you can learn from. He's so organized and enthusiastic about what he does, passionate. And his whole staff, it's just like, it's great to be around these guys, So that's what I'm looking for, something like that, my staff. I'm trying to put together a staff like that. And I don't know if you know Carl Farrell from back in San Bernardino Valley days. He was the actual OC when Stangl was there, and he actually was my coach at Chaffey and New Mexico Highlands. So he gave me a lot of input and influence on the offensive side of the ball, spread offense. So really, got really interested in football in the passing aspect and defending the pass. And now, as a young defensive coordinator back in the day, I was kind of just like really, really chomping at the bit to get out there and try to prove my stuff.
Okay, you bring up spread offense and passing. Now I'm just curious because when I think Kaiser, I think of, big, strong up front. They're going to run the football. They've always had some great running backs. But it sounds like maybe your style might be a little more wide open.
A little bit, yeah. My style is going to be a little different. Like I told him, I said it's going to be same traditions, same type of mentality as far as preparation and goal setting, but we're going to be looking a little different when we get out there on the field, throwing the ball around a little bit, different formations, but we'll have a power aspect to it, That's one thing everybody is interested about is that passing game these days, but I actually got to play it in it, and it's, the kids these days want to have the ball, but at the same time, it's only one football. So we try to get to them understand that we're going to be dynamic, We're going to throw the ball, run the ball, and we're going to keep our guys happy, and we're going to try to have fun while doing it.
Coach, you mentioned, putting your coaching staff together. What's near the top of your to-do list right now to get ready for the season? Is it get kids in the weight room, do some 7-on-7, find your coaches? What's your to-do list look like?
Right now, it's a little of both. I've been getting the coaches together, trying to get my dream staff together, but also, like you said, getting those kids in the weight room. It's like that's what I really want to do right now, get them in the weight room and get them strong and get them to understand that this is where the base of football is played. We get in there and we lift these weights, and then whatever we do in here is going to translate to the field. So getting their mindset to just being tough kids. Fontana kids are tough, especially down south at that Kaiser end, they're really tough. So looking forward to getting in there real soon, and grinding it out in the weight room.
Well, I know, Coach, we'll wrap it up like this. I know Coach Matheny is one of your biggest fans. It's hard not to get excited about that Summit, playing that Summit team, when the season comes along. But just overall, have you had a chance to look at the schedule and, what are do you have any goals or expectations, like make playoffs, compete for the league, all those sorts of things for this upcoming year?
Well, the goal, the goal in there is to get in there and make the playoffs. That's one. We always set that goal at Fontana when I was going to school out there. Make the playoffs, win the first game. If we can win the first game, that'll be a good start. But make the playoffs. Don't lose more than 2 games in a row or one a game. We don't want to do that. But I'm not trying to think about that Week 8 game yet. So even though I know what game it is, we have a tough schedule. No doubt about it. First game is Luzinger. We got to go out there against a tough team, talented team. But we're going to get ready for that game, playing a tough scrimmage against Northern Vista. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to really give us a good test of where we're at physically and mentally. But like I said, we don't have to win the championship this year, but we want to win enough games in league and in preseason to make the playoffs at any stake. Either as an at-large or as a 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to overshoot and talk too much garbage right now. I got to get my feet on the ground and get some things going first.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach Cornish, listen, congratulations on this Kaiser gig. It's one of the premier programs in the area. Yes. And like I said, Coach Matheny reached out. He's a huge fan of yours, and we're excited to see you guys go head to head. I know it's only Week 8. There's a lot of football to be played before then, but congrats on the gig, man. We really do. We're really excited for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. When he said he called you, I was like, oh, Pep, okay. That's one of my, I was following you. When you're following my son, I'm like, let's see what Pep said about you.
Yes, sir. Hey, now that you're a head coach, get used to it, the interviews and all that stuff, too, that goes with it.
I'll be looking forward to it.
You got it. That's Reggie Cornish, the new head football coach of the Kaiser Cats, here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
Well, congrats to Coach Cornish on the new gig. And we've got another new head coach in the area as we pivot from football over to basketball. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to check in with the new boys basketball coach at Redlands High School, Joey Sponheim, who is a Redlands legend. We'll talk to Coach when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Is it important to have your kid on the A team? Absolutely not. If you have some serious goals for a young athlete, don't forget to focus on the bigger picture. Instead of trying to get them on the A team, focus on finding them a good coach. Coaches who attract the best players aren't always great developers, whereas a coach who can instill what your child needs to reach their potential, that's priceless. Boost man.
And the more I see Minnesota, the more I think I was wrong. I think they were the better team. And to go, like you said, Game 7 on the road at the defending champion's house and you win, got to give Minnesota some respect. Yes. In fact, I was hoping that my Sacramento Kings would be what the Minnesota Timberwolves are right now. But Minnesota is great. They've got maybe the best young player in the game in Anthony Edwards right now. And they've got some other Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. I didn't know Mike Conley was, running the point. So they convinced me. Like, I'm on board. Like, okay, I get it. I understand why the Timberwolves are this good now.
These Dodgers, baseball's a long season. I expect some kind of slump, and at some point we'll be talking about like, oh man, will the Dodgers come to life? We'll see if they can turn it on at the right time. But they look pretty freaking tough, man.
Man, freaking tough. They've got so many good players. I'm a baseball junkie. I love looking at stats and numbers. If you just go and look at all the stat leaders across Major League Baseball, like Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani, two of the top hitters in the league, batting average and hits-wise. Teoscar Hernandez, I think he's one of the leaders in RBI. Like, they're stacked, man. They are so good. If they could just get enough pitching, they're going to be unstoppable.
Inland Sports.
Just rocking out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM, talking sports every Monday and Thursday morning. So if you're watching the Inland Sports Show live on Wednesday night, you can check me out tomorrow morning on KCAL 96.7 FM. All right, let's talk some high school boys basketball right now. Redlands High School trying to get back into the mix in that CBL title race and playoff spots and all that good stuff. In fact, the last time they won a league championship, their star player was Joey Sponheim. And now their new head basketball coach is Joey Sponheim. In fact, he jokingly says his college teammates at the University of Redlands called him the hometown hero because he really never left. He started at Redlands High School, then he starred for the Bulldogs. Now he's back home at RHS as the head boys basketball coach at the varsity level. Check out our interview with head coach Joey Sponheim.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He is the new head boys basketball coach at Redlands High School, one of the all-time greats for the Terriers, head coach Joey Sponheim. And Coach Sponheim, first off, congrats on the RHS gig. I mean, you're a Terrier through and through. Is it just feel like it was destiny? It was natural to be at RHS and come full circle and be the head coach at the varsity level?
Yeah. It's funny when you say that. I have a few friends that I went to high school with, and they all say that this was destined to happen. The prophecy is completed. But no, I'm very excited, very ecstatic. I thank my athletic director, Eric Memory, and the administration for giving me the opportunity. And we're looking forward to bring a lot of new things and kind of build a great program at RHS.
I'm curious, because you're an RHS grad, you start at the U of R, you were coaching at RHS, and now you're the head basketball coach at the varsity level. At what point in your career did you think, okay, I want to be, a head coach so I can have my own program? I mean, even as a player, in the back of your mind, where you're like, man, I'm going to coach one day. I'd love to coach back here at RHS. That'd be like my dream job. But did you always want to be a coach?
Yeah, not always. When I was at Redlands High School, I played there from 2011 to 2015. It didn't really kind of hit me until I really got to college. I played under legendary coach Jim Ducey at the University of Redlands, and he taught a whole other aspect of the game that I didn't really realize and I didn't understand. And so I learned a lot there at the University of Redlands, and it really got me thinking like, oh, this stuff's really interesting. This stuff is what I'm passionate about. And it's something that I had success in. And so I started thinking about that. I'd always kind of thought about being a teacher. And so I realized that a good way to be a varsity head coach was to kind of continuing that teaching route. And so, here we are today. And I wouldn't say I always thought about it, but the way I think about it now, it sounds pretty good. So,
yeah, because, not a lot of basketball coaches get to go back to where they used to play, and get a chance to coach and stay in your hometown. And you even played, collegiately here in your hometown. I mean, you must love Redlands, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if my college teammates see this, they're going to laugh because they used to always call me the hometown hero. And yeah. So no, it is special though. I do love this place. There's no denying that. Had a great experience at Redlands High School, my 4 years playing basketball, being a part of ASB, and I really enjoyed it there. And then obviously didn't go very far for college, and there's a reason why. I think it's a great place. There's certainly a sense of community here, which I think might be more difficult to find in other places, which is another main factor about why I kind of wanted to stay around here and wanted to coach at Redlands High School specifically. That's definitely true. I get teased about that a lot. So thanks for bringing that up again.
I hope your friends have fun with this then, with this interview.
They will.
Well, Coach Sponheim, this edition of Terriers basketball under your leadership, what's it going to look like? Do you like to play fast? Do you use all the shot clock? Like, how would you kind of describe the brand of basketball you want the Terriers to play?
Yeah, it's a great question. First and foremost, I played in a bunch of different systems. In high school, we kind of did some up-tempo stuff under Coach Berry and Coach Glass. And then when I went to the University of Redlands, it was almost the polar opposite, where it was half court, all half court sets, and just taking our time scoring, really valuing the possession of the ball. So I feel like I've seen both. And to be honest with you, I think it depends on the personnel. We'll probably mix things up year by year basis. Right now, I'm excited about our young talent and our returning guys. We have some really talented players on the freshman team and also on the JV team, and they're now going to be varsity players. And we have some 8th graders that are supposed to be pretty good, I've heard, that are coming in. And so, it's really going to depend on the personnel. We have actually our first summer practice tomorrow night, Tuesday night. And so once I kind of see that and kind of see what I got, then there's a million different ways you can go. Right now, I'm thinking a lot of a lot of dribble handoffs, a lot of backdoor actions, because I've realized as an assistant coach the last few years that we get pressured a lot. There's a lot of man-to-man defense getting pressured up near half court, and trying to find counters to kind of work through that stuff has kind of been our Achilles heel at RHS for the last few years or so. So that's something that I can think of immediately that I would like to change. But it's really going to depend on a year-to-year basis, depending on who I got.
Well, speaking of the the CBL and RHS trying to find their way through the CBL, you said the last couple of years they're trying to, the Terriers trying to find their footing again, I guess you could say, in league play. I mean, it just got, even more difficult with, Beaumont being added to league play a couple of seasons ago. Ukaipa's tough. Rev is always tough. Cajon's had some really good teams.
Right.
What do you think it's going to take to compete? Maybe win a league title, or at least maybe finish in the top 3 and try to get to the postseason again.
Yeah, man. I mean, first and foremost, the last time we won CBL championship was when I was playing in 2015 when I was a senior. So the goal is to get back to that, right? I think we've been competitive the last several years. We've lost a lot of close games, which has been frustrating, and we're always just super close to getting into the playoffs. And so, yeah, in terms of CBL, yes, you said it correctly. Cajon's always solid. Rev's always solid. CV's got some really young talent. And then, of course, Beaumont as well has grown and become a really, really powerhouse in CBL and all sports, really. Yeah. And then Ukaipa's got some returning players that were pretty dominant last year. So, we're gonna be competitive. We're gonna be fighting. We're gonna be in the mix. What it takes to get back to the top is it'll take some time to kind of build some consistency in the program, kind of change the culture a little bit. I've kind of put together a little bit of a coaching staff, and we've had a couple of coaches meetings already, and we've talked about several different things. And on paper, the coaching meeting was supposed to last about an hour and a half, and it lasted 3 hours, just going through all the things that we needed to change, and we wanted to see improvement on a year-to-year basis, not just from the previous coach to me, but just how we're going to grow in a few years. It's going to take some time. We're going to be competitive. We're going to be in the mix. I'm excited about our young talent and our returning guys, and we're going to go out there and play hard every day. I know that.
Coach, here we are. It's, the month of May, and people are probably thinking, oh, basketball season, that is like way off, like way off in the distance. But do you feel any sense of urgency? Like you said, you're going to start, working out with your team, and, I don't know if you do summer leagues or anything like that, but do you feel like, okay, we need to get this going right now because basketball season, even though it seems like it's far away, but do you feel like that urgency, like, hey, we need to start improving now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there is a sense of urgency with the program in terms of the coaches, kind of alluding to what I mentioned. Yeah, that coaches meeting, we're like, man, we gotta get going right now. So yeah, we're in some summer leagues. We're up in Big Bear the first weekend of June, which is coming up quickly.
Yeah.
And we're in some local stuff as well. So yeah, we're gonna work through that kind of stuff. We were left a pretty good situation by Coy Glass and his kind of reign there for the last several years, and before him, Ted Berry. We were left some money in the booster club, and we had some good relationships with parents and that sort of thing. So I'm really inheriting a pretty good situation as it comes to that. We were able to order new jerseys this year. So there's going to be some things that we can kind of get the program and the school excited about. And so I think that will help. But in terms of the summer, like you said, I know it's May. But there's a sense of urgency for sure. We're going to be busy all throughout the month of June, practices, games, different leagues, like I mentioned. And then we have, our dead period near the end of June, and I think the first week of July. But we're going to pick it right back up again in July and August. Yeah, it's been overwhelming as a young guy, 27, kind of coming into this, but it's exactly what I want, and I'm learning as I go, and I'm excited to get to the X's and O's and the league games coming in a few months. Yeah, very excited about it.
Coach, let me ask you about, you mentioned Coach Barry and Coach Glass as well, taking the reins from those two guys. I know you played for Coach Barry and Coach Glass was there most recently. Does it help taking over the program, knowing like where they were the last, 10 years or so, because you played for Coach Barry, you played for Coach Glass, you know, like where the strengths are, just like with the kids on campus and, like how do you raise money at, with the boosters and all those sorts of things? Are those like guys you can still lean on? And does it help that you played for them or coached with them?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if Coy Glass or Ted Berry will watch this, but if they do, they'll know that I've been bugging them, especially Coach Glass. I've been kind of relying on him pretty heavily, and they're both on campus, and so I've been relying on them big time, and I've reached out to some coaches of the past too. Before Ted Berry, it was Brad Scott, who was very successful for about 10 years as the RHS basketball coach. I sat down with him and had like a 3-hour meeting going over different things. To your point, it's been great. It's been a privilege that I can rely on that. I know not every young guy or not every coach kind of coming in has that. And I can't speak highly enough about Coach Glass. He's retiring this year, so quick shout out. I mean, he's been there for 35 plus years, coaching for that entire time. He coached me when I was in the 3rd grade. So he's certainly a legend there at Redlands High School, and Ted Berry as well. Someone who I played with and played for, and so it's an honor to kind of to be that next person in line. I've been very reliant on them. Absolutely.
So when people ask, because my full disclosure, my wife is a Terrier. She went to Redlands High School. When people on the outside say, well, what's the long blue line? This is it. I mean, Coach Glass to Coach Sponheim, like this is the long blue line, right?
Absolutely. There's connections everywhere on that long blue line, and it's something we all value. That's for sure.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the new gig. It sounds like this is the perfect fit. It was destiny, right, for you to come in there and take over the varsity boys program. So congratulations, and hopefully we can do this again a little bit down the road and see what you got.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I appreciate your time.
You got it. That's Joey Sponheim. He is the new Redlands High School boys basketball coach, Terriers legend, U of R legend, taking over the program at RHS. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Inland Sports.
Well, congrats on the gig, Coach. Sounds like you were the perfect fit to get right in there for the Terriers, the hometown hero, as we like to call him. Congrats, Coach. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. A big thanks to Coach Sponheim. We also had Coach Cornish, the new head football coach for the Kaiser Cats, Riverside Poly girls swim, and, of course, Ethan Schiefelbein, the star pitcher for Corona High School to help the Panthers get the Division I title. If you watch this show, you like the show, you can support the show as well. And listen, if you're a local business or an organization, we'd love to promote you. When you support the Inland Sports Show, you are supporting local sports. The money goes right back in to us, our equipment, everything we need to make it happen, to interview and share these great stories of our local athletes and our schools, coaches, all that good stuff. So you can find us at Inland Sports all over social media, Twitter, Instagram, little bit of Facebook still, but definitely heavy on Instagram and Twitter. So you can always send us a direct message or email us at inlandsportsshow@gmail.com if you're interested in more information on how you can partner with the Inland Sports Show and promote your brand, your business, your organization. So we'd really appreciate it as well. My name's Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.